All right. Well, welcome. It's Wednesday night and it's element 17 tonight. All the 26 gold elements that Dr. Anderson wrote that every time we read them, we just get something new out of it every time. So I'm Nancy Peterson. This is Clark Peterson. And we've been health coaches now for almost 5 years or about 5 years. We've helped hundreds of people, and it is really our joy to see people be transformed. So, and to me, it's not just about what shows up on the scale. It's just about how you feel. We feel like everything's connected. Your spiritual, your emotional, and your physical. So when you get the physical in the right place, it does is support your spiritual and your emotional health. So that being said, tonight I'm excited to talk about this one because it's a habit and principles that I struggle with. And I want to say I'm getting better at it, but I feel like I could do even better. So, and maybe some of you are kind of on top of it, but but I think it's something that I've got to always keep working on. And so element 17, the title of it is How Do You Become a Perpetual Motion Machine? Okay, so I feel like I'm busy a lot, but a lot of my busyness is at a desk. And I don't know, some of you can relate to that. I know, Janet, you can, being a legal secretary. And we spend a lot of time. So what he talks about in the element is 10,000 years ago, or when time began, and we were all into survival mode, right? You had to go out and you had to hunt and then clean and then cook whatever, or you had to gather whatever to eat. You had to make your own shelter, instead of going through a mortgage company and buying a house. It's just it was a whole different kettle of fish, right? And back then, probably, there was like 3,000 minutes a week that you were in motion. And I would bet even more than that. But basically, you were in motion a lot. Nowadays, we call someone really active when they're in motion about 300 minutes a week.
Mm.
That's like 1/10 of what it used to be. Now, that being said, I mean, I'm really glad I don't have to run away from a dinosaur. And I'm really glad I don't have to go catch that fish and cook it up. But anyway, although I do like fishing. Um, and I would say probably, if we're really active, we're doing 300 minutes a week. I would say probably the average American, maybe more like 150 minutes a week, that they're really doing motion. Okay, really doing motion. Why? Because we have escalators, right? We have, when we go to the department stores, we Uber somewhere or we drive our car, right? We don't walk necessarily, all these things that keep us from motion. So the goal tonight is that we would really create a plan for all of us that was suitable to our physical needs right now, that we would be able to add more motion into our life. And with the expectation that going forward, we're going to actually add more exercise into our life. Because this is what I love about this program. This program is not just about what the scale says, guys. This is really about health. And so to me, that's what really separates Optavia from so many other things that are out there, right? That's just one of many things that does. So I'm just going to read you something really interesting. Do you want to do that? Yeah, can you just read this part? We were fascinated with this.
This one down here?
No, this.
Just okay.
And then this.
Okay, both then?
Yeah.
We have learned a lot from space travel.
our astronauts would leave to go to outer space, leaving the Earth's gravitational pull behind. A startling side effect following this relatively short time in space was that these incredibly fit humans would exhibit significant atrophy, loss of fitness, and other signs of aging in their physical health.
Yeah, you can make that too.
With the program fitting, we do not, with the progressive fitting, we do our modern life, we do in our modern lifestyle, we are assimilating space travel daily as we are not moving against gravity. When I wrote the first version of the Habits of Health a decade ago, I started that even,
You don't have to.
okay,
Okay, so basically, all I wanted to share, or we wanted to share with you, was that even an astronaut who is in top physical shape goes into space, right? And what's he doing? He's sitting, right? And then there's not even gravity, so that
distance.
no resistance, right? So you're really not using your muscles. And what happens? You have
Atrophy.
atrophy. So think of us. I mean, yes, we still have the gravity. However, if you're just in a sedentary lifestyle, you're not gonna, it's not good. It's not good at all. So that being said, I have to ask you the question. Do you have sitting disease? No, look at all these no's. Woo! So you don't have sitting disease. So you don't sit too much. Okay. Okay, that is great. Good job, guys. Good job. All right. So this is what we know. Most Americans, 86% they say, this is what the book tells us, sit all day. That's a huge amount. Okay. They sit all day. That is a range of 9 to 15 hours a day of sitting. I mean, think about it. If you go to work and you're in a desk job, you're usually, 7 to 8 hours at your desk, right? You come home and yeah, you might be making dinner, but then you sit down to watch TV. And that might be another couple hours. Well, there's your 9 to 15 hours right there. But we don't think of that because we think of ourselves, well, we got up, we walked, we went to the store, we made dinner and all that. But in reality, we probably sit more than we think we do. I believe I do. And I feel like I'm a pretty busy person, right? So tell me, do you know the difference between motion and exercise? What do you think the difference is between the two?
Cardio.
What is it?
Cardio.
Cardio? Yeah. Yeah. Cardio probably plays into it. Yeah. Anyone else? Difference between motion and exercise.
Go.
What, Janet?
Motion, I would think, is if you just like are walking around your house or, walking down the stairs or maybe taking a short walk down your street. Exercise to me is more like going to a gym and doing certain exercises like weight training or whatever that you have designed for what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, that's good.
So
motion, or just, go ahead, Betty. What?
I was thinking motion is just moving and exercise is more of a
Faster
movement.
Yeah, maybe with more cardio, like Karen was saying. Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it's the purpose. What is the reason for the motion? If it's a targeted movement, like Janet was saying, if it's something that you are, what is the goal for that motion? If it's just to go fix dinner, then that's a motion, but it's not targeted towards weight loss or getting stronger or getting healthier.
Yeah, it's targeted to fill our bellies. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. All right. So the way they describe the difference. Okay. So physical activity or motion is anytime, it is like what you were saying, anytime your body is in motion. So it could be walking up the stairs. It could be walking to your car. It could be, whatever.
Tapping your foot.
Tapping your foot. Tapping your foot. Exercise is planned movement that's more rigorous, which is like Karen said too, and leads to better overall fitness, which is what Lisa said. You guys get a 5 stars tonight.
Yay!
I'm telling you, you guys rock. Way to go. You got it. All right. So we're going to talk next week about exercise, but today we're going to talk about the motion. All right. And how to incorporate more motion. And what the way he describes it is the word NEAT, N-E-A-T, NEAT, non-exercise. Okay. So he makes a distinguishing difference, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay, so that's what he calls NEAT. This is what's going to get our body moving. Okay, it's stuff we're kind of already doing, but we can consciously do more. We can consciously make efforts. Like, for example, I love this. Dr. Anderson's really into dancing. Like he says, if you're in a room and you're listening to some music, get up and move, get up and dance. Or if you're just sitting there, how did he describe that?
And he's listening to
Oh.
some music.
Listening to some music, he'll start to tap his foot to the music. Because even though that seems like such a small little thing, that added movement actually works towards, one, you're going to be burning more calories, but two, maybe more importantly, is that you are moving your body. You're adding motion, even though it's just your foot tapping, right? So go ahead.
I don't know if you've ever been around someone or you yourself in a situation where a part of your body atrophied. I don't know if my brother shot his foot and they had to do surgery, and for I think 6 weeks he was immobile. He had one foot sewed to the other foot so that they had to do a skin graft. They had to train him how to walk again because his legs were so atrophied. He had a bottom half body cast on. So just tapping your foot is a blessing, right? Just being able to move your foot is a great blessing that we may not think about.
Okay, now this isn't in the notes, but it just came to me. It was like a little light bulb went on, revelation. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm done eating for the day, but I still feel like I think I want something to eat. I think I'm going to think about what I could do for movement instead. So I'm going to capture that thought and I'm going to transfer it to movement. So whether it's just getting up and going to do something or moving my foot, or I'm going to try to just be conscious about that. Because again, what we're trying to do is create new healthy habits, right? That are just going to keep us moving in the right direction. So one of the things Dr. Anderson talked about, and I say this with all caution, all right? It may not apply to you, but because it's something medical, I really want to be able to say it because he talks about it in the chapter. And this is what he said. When you are in the process of getting healthy, so basically you've been carrying extra weight around, okay? And you are now eating better, and the weight's starting to come off. What it says is, if you go directly to exercising, okay, so you skip the NEAT or the just adding in motion, but you go to exercising, could happen, he says, I'm going to quote him, all right, is going directly to exercise from a sedentary lifestyle can increase risk of cardiovascular disease. NEAT, which is this adding motion, helps to condition your body to go to exercise. Okay, did you guys understand that? That I say that because what happens a lot of times is we're carrying around this extra weight. We think, oh, exercise is good for us, which is a true statement. But what we need to remember is, I mean, think about if you had to exercise and carry 50 pounds around with you. It would be hard on your body, hard on your heart, hard on your blood vessels, hard on all. So all that to be said is motion is great. And I'm not saying don't exercise. I'm just saying you need to just be cautious to do it in a manner that
Well, you want to
it's-
crawl before you walk.
yeah, you want to crawl before you
You
walk.
want to walk before you run, and
Yeah,
you know
that's a
you
great.
want to jog before you run. Then you want to run. So
Maybe.
So that what?
Well, Clark said, and then you want to run. And I said, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe right. Exactly.
Well, see,
Well,
they're good. This is a good cautionary because I'm kind of like an all or nothing type of person. That I'll not do something for a while, and then I said, okay, it's time to change, and then I'll go, and then after overspending and exhausting, then I get discouraged because I overdid it, rather than just doing it systematically and a little at a time. So we have to watch out for that.
Yeah. So he lists a lot of, and there were great ideas of ways to incorporate motion into your day, things that you don't even really think about. So I just want to kind of talk about those because I found those really interesting. Let's take a look. All right. All right. So he kind of goes in, and this like Janet, I'm thinking of you in particular because you work all day, but I mean, even at work, he talks about things you can do. So he says, park farther away from the entrance. And we probably all know that. But I have to admit, I don't do it all the time. And why don't I? So, I mean, it's just something I think I'm going to start really to put that into practice.
How many have ever prayed that you could find a parking spot really close to the door?
All right, I'm guilty. I have had my grandkids pray for that.
All right, let's
Now,
pray.
that's bad. That is bad. I'm changing my evil ways. All right. And then it says, get up. Okay, don't yell at me. Get up several times an hour during each hour you are sitting. So that would mean even when you're watching TV. Okay. And I am pretty guilty about just putting my feet up and relaxing. But okay, use the stairs. We kind of know that instead of the escalator or the elevator. And I just want you to know when I'm in the airport, I do use those walking, those paths. I know, look, Lisa's laughing, but I do use those because it just seems like it's so far from one corridor to the next. All right. All right, this is a good one. Maybe I will do this next week. Hold a walking meeting.
Oh,
So hey, we should do that next week. So while we're all doing the Zoom, we'll be standing up. That'd be great. That'd be great. Okay, standing while you're on the phone. Now you could do that, Janet. Couldn't you?
Hey, Nancy, just an
Uh-oh.
FYI, when I'm at work, I do have a standing desk.
Oh, well, never, see, that's what I'm telling you. You guys are like 5-star people. You know, people are going to want to watch this because they'll be so inspired by all of you. So, all right. And the last one was, this is one that when I was a little girl, I took ballet for a lot of years. And one of the things we had to do in ballet is our teacher would make us sit in our chair and we'd have to put our shoulders back and we'd have to sit up really straight like this and put our hands in our lap. And she'd make us sit like that for like 10 minutes. That Dr. Anderson suggests that having a strong core is really important. And I know some of you are younger than I am, but it's good for as you're getting older to have
Can I
to have
also add on that
Yeah.
I'm having some issues with my neck, and that is one of the exercises that my orthopedic doctor has given me and the physical therapist is to sit up straight and also push your neck and your chin back to get you in better posture. And it also
Yep.
takes the stress off of your throughout your cervical spine.
it,
So
you
it's
know,
good
it's
for all of us.
yeah, and it's interesting when you aren't conscious about it and then you go to do it, it's like you can feel muscles that you haven't been using, right? And you're like, whoa, how did that happen, right?
You know, when Lisa talked about how many times have you been on your phone for a long period of time and you're like this and it can really, you got to put that down and push that back. That's what I thought of, Lisa. That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good. Okay, so at
Can I,
home, yep, go
can I
please
say
do.
two things?
Yep.
Going back to the getting up every so often, an hour, my phone will, 10 minutes before the hour, if I haven't walked or taken my steps, it will say, you have so many steps left to do in this hour. And it usually will have you do 250 steps per hour for 9 hours out of my day and
Wow.
stuff. So it reminds me when I
That's
haven't
great.
That is
got up
good.
and had any motion in the last hour and stuff. And
So
then
is that
going
is that
to
an app, Gloria? What is that?
on my phone, my Fitbit watch, yeah.
Fitbit.
Yeah,
That's
on my
great.
Fitbit.
Yeah,
The
I
other
mean,
thing,
because yeah, go ahead.
the other thing is, sitting up straight. My sister and I, this has been several months now, but we were together and I don't know how we got talking about, we feel like we're starting to slouch over all the time.
Mhm.
You just feel like you're getting shorter. I'm short as it is, so I don't need to be any shorter.
Yeah, I just want to
So
say
I
we met
find
Gloria. She is
What-
short.
Yeah. I find myself, even like when I'm standing in front of the sink brushing my teeth, I'm like, oh gosh, let's stand up, so I try to remind myself to sit up or stand up straight and things, because it's so easy to just kind of slouch, and there's that little fat roll sometimes.
Yeah, it is dual benefit
Yeah.
to be focused on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and doesn't Pilates, they work on that too, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, they do.
do our own Pilates. All right.
The other thing for
oh.
your core waist is getting one of those balls to sit on while you're at your computer.
I just threw one out.
And you know where it was? It was under her desk too. It was conveniently under her desk.
It's still on the side of the road.
But that goes back to strengthening your core, sitting on that ball and even bouncing on that ball while you're sitting, it helps to strengthen your core.
Yep,
Thanks,
emotion.
This is
Guess
a
who's
great
running out
Zoom.
to the side of the street and getting that ball again?
This is a great
Nancy.
Zoom.
Nancy, Stacy has one that you could probably have.
Oh, thank you.
I was gonna say they're not very expensive, so you could always
No.
get
Oh,
another.
thank
We
Not
just put
Thanks.
one
anymore.
on the street.
I know. I have to run out after the Zoom and go. look at it. All right. So these are some things you can do at home. Okay, at home. And this is a great one. All right. Probably most of you do this already, but make your bed.
Mm.
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 You know, the great thing about making your bed is this. It's not only that, okay, now you have a nice neat bed, but and it's good for motion, but it's been proven that people that make their bed in the morning are substantially more productive during the day than people that don't.
Oh.
Now, I don't know the connection, I don't understand it, but I thought that's interesting. So
I've gone over a year now making my bed, and I never did it before. A year. I even make it at the hotel room.
Mhm.
this is good. This is good training. Anyway, okay.
I make my bed so that my dog doesn't get into the sheet.
We can relate to that too.
Whatever works, Karen.
There you go.
Okay, here's some more. Oh my gosh, manually brushing your teeth.
Oh.
So I know a lot of you like your electric toothbrushes, but although, you know, the dentist might tell you differently than that, but he's just saying, you know, for more motion. Use a shaker jar instead of something electric, right? Now, this one I don't like. Manually wash the dishes. I mean, you know, okay. All right, all right, I'm just saying, okay. Use a manual can opener. I do that. Use a broom. Do that. Hand rake the leaves. Unless you have pet grass.
Well, we rake that too.
And we rake that too. We vacuum that.
Yeah.
I like it. This one happens and you don't even have to do it. Hide the TV remote so that you have to get up and turn it on manually.
Or
I love it.
Or lose it.
Or lose it.
Yeah.
Walk the dog. It's a great one for all of us dog lovers, right? And have an after dinner leisurely walk. And I like that. And that's something we've talked about. We're up in Wisconsin now for the summer, and it's so beautiful. And there's the green grass and the beautiful trees and
Mosquitoes.
mosquitoes. And but we have off.
Yes.
And we have 2 dogs now because Clark's got his lab and I've got my golden. And so there's no reason we can't go out
And they get along.
and they get along.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Hey,
So those
Nancy,
are yeah.
skin's so soft instead of off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Off has
you're
a
right.
bunch of chemicals in it that you don't want in your body.
You know, you're
Skin
right.
so soft works great.
That's Avon, right?
Who would
Also,
know?
dryer sheets. Dryer sheets repel insects and bugs. So when we go for mission trips to Cambodia, we'll take dryer sheets and rub it
You
on our clothes, rub it on our skin.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so interesting.
I
Okay,
don't know why.
that sounds
It
great.
does.
All right, so here's a few things that if you're on the go, we'll just go through this. So at the grocery store, now, if you're getting a lot of groceries, you need a shopping cart. But if you're just picking up a few things, use a hand basket instead of, I mean, who would think thought of that? I think that's a good one. Again, park farther away. Walk around the mall in bad weather in case you can't get out and get it. And I know in Prescott, a lot of people do that. Engage in outside hobbies on the weekends. So just get outside and do both outdoor and indoor sports. Okay, I like this because I know that Heron does, don't you have a bike in the house that you ride?
A recumbent bike.
Recumbent. So is that okay? So do you do that like 30 minutes a day or
An hour. I just put a program that I've recorded, and I sit there and just pedal away and just continue doing it until the show's over. And that's usually an hour.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great. And I know, Janet, you've been walking on a treadmill, right?
And I've seen Lisa walk.
30
working out
minutes
too.
a day.
That's so great. And then, yeah, Lisa too. So if you don't have something to add a little bit of extra, and I know that's considered exercise, but we're going to talk next week about how to even ramp that up. So I know like Karen's going to be going through transition now, and I know Janet's already at her goal weight. So we're going to, and Marie and a bunch of you guys. So
We
we're,
are.
and yeah, so we're going to be really talking about adding in things like strength training and things like that next week. So, which will be really good. So just a few more, go swimming at the local pool, walk in the woods or along the lake or the beach, bicycle when possible. So and it's not like this is some kind of brand new thing, but I think it's a great reminder. And even if you just initiate a few things into your day, like parking farther away, like getting up, at least every, like what Gloria was saying, making sure you're getting steps in every hour.
Mhm.
Those are the things that they seem like small little things, but think about it. If you're doing that every day, you are adding in great motion to keep the muscle tone and be able to get more motion into your day. So, yeah. Do you have anything else?
No, I just think I started had this mentality a few years ago, but anything that's movement is very beneficial. And sometimes we get caught up in our head. I mean, I have before, well, I'm not working out, so why do anything? But I think anything is good. Any movement is good, and and anything you can do every day is a good thing. So
Yeah, and I think like Dr. Anderson said, um, it's great to exercise and you want to, but it's almost like you kind of need all these other little things too to get you into a place where exercise is like just the next step.
yeah,
And that's the whole idea. I mean, if you look at the program that we do, right, we have phase 1, which is the weight loss phase. That's your 5 and 1 and all that. You want to just get to a healthy weight. Phase 2 is optimal health. It's basically putting whole foods back in, learning how to maintain that weight, right? And to live a healthy lifestyle. And then they have the next step, which is called ultra health. And that's a little bit what we'll talk about next week, which is it creates longevity. It creates really your best life in that you'll be in your best shape. And we'll be talking about that. So any questions, or did anything kind of ring a bell with you guys that, oh yeah, I'm going to start doing that?
I noticed that since I've been moving, even walking an extra lap around at the mall, that my muscles get stronger so that I'm able to do a little further around the mall. So
Wow.
just even movement in itself has helped strengthen what I already have.
That's great. Anyone else?
I'll just have to get my granddaughter to remind me to exercise on my bike, ride my bike, because she told me that exercise is healthy, and if I want to be healthy, I need to exercise.
It's so hard when that generation just says those things to us.
And she's only 5.
I know.
well, she's jumping around, doing cartwheels, and running around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually one of the things Dr. Anderson talks about. He says, what I'd really like to see you guys do is get back to being like a kid.
Yeah.
They don't have any problems just jumping up and, doing their, running here and there, right?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
dancing, they'll all just start, but what happens to us? I don't know. But, we gotta, we may look old, but we're gonna be young mentally. So anyone else?
We got to get back to Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Never grow up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take a couple of things that we talked about, start to work on them this week, because next week we're going to talk about ultra health. And so we want to move in that direction. So even if you're not quite there to do that, these are really good things for you to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see what you can do. See what you can add a little bit of movement. Maybe it's a leg lift, or maybe, maybe it's moving your arms around, but see what you can add. Just movement that you can do.
Yeah. Because
You'll benefit from it.
I think like what Karen said, as you do that, eventually then you're stronger to do more.
Mhm.
It's just one of those, you work up to it a little bit at a time. So
It does positively affect your metabolism too, so that's true. Yep.
that's true too. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week and we'll talk about Ultra Health.
Yeah, let your people know that they can get on. We have a YouTube.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube now where we post these on, and you just go to YouTube and you can just Google or put in the search Nancy and Clark Peterson. And what will come up are the elements that have been recorded so far. I didn't put up last week. For some reason, it didn't record. I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys. It was so good last week. But this, I think, is recording. So we'll get this one put up. And any that we don't have, because we're going to have all 26 on there, we'll just keep doing it until we get them put up there.
Yeah.
All right. So you can always go back and check them out.
Maybe you
All right, you guys.
re-record last week.
I recorded, I clicked record, but it didn't, when we hung up, it usually converts and it didn't do it. So, no.
Yeah, go ahead.
You need my IT granddaughter to help me.
We just want to say congratulations to being on tonight.
Yeah.
There's other things you could be doing, and this is valuable for you and for the people that you were influencing. So congratulations for being on tonight.
All right, you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to a lot of you tomorrow.